Having started my business, one day I was coming from a client site, and I was on the Apapa Oshodi Expressway when I saw this vehicle. This is me as a consultant, pretty successful consultant. Within the first year of our consulting practice, we already were handling customer service strategy for about 12 banks. By my third year in consulting practice, we were already handling customer service strategy and leadership transformation for about 14 banks. It was crazy. And yet, as successful as it seems like I was, one day I saw this interesting picture, and I took a little camera that I had, one of these mini cameras, and I just took a picture of it because I was driving. And it occurred to me that this vehicle was not so at the beginning. And then I thought to myself, this is amazing. You know, it was like as if my mind went onto the day when this vehicle rolled out of the assembly plant. And you can only imagine the oohs and the ahs that those who manufactured it and those who saw it coming out of the plant could have just had. All the promises that it had, and all the incredible kinds of vision that they must have had, that there would be one Lord or the other. This was the same car, or kind of car, that the Queen of England was driving at that time. And it occurred to me one day that, you know, this car is working. It's not that it's not working. It's still moving. Not sure whether it's a Range Rover engine in there, but there's at least one engine is there. And it's still moving. But the big question is, was it fulfilling the purpose for which the manufacturers created it? Do you think that this was what they had in mind when they created this car? Anybody, any ideas? Do we think that this was what it was? So when they came up with the idea of this car, this amazing SUV, they had an idea that yes, it will run, but they thought of it in a particular... The vision they had for it was completely different from what it had begun to manifest. Now, don't forget, it's still moving. But it was not fulfilling purpose. And I started to think to myself, oh my God, what could have gone wrong? And as I drove past the car, you know, this is traffic, my lane moved a bit further. As I drove past the car, I realized, oh my God, okay, it seemed to have lost its vision at some point in time. But then it also wasn't long before it occurred to me that, you know what? Look at the quality of the person that is driving that car. And I'm sure that at no point in time did Range Rover management ever imagine that somebody of that caliber would ever sit behind the steering wheel of any of their cars. In fact, when that car must have rolled out, I'm sure that the first few people that would have sat in the driver's wheel, or, you know, would have been, you know, lords, executives, you know, the high and the mighty. But something started to happen, and the quality of the drivers began to change. And with the quality of the drivers changing, the places where the car went started to change. And what the car experienced started to change. Until at one point in time, the car found itself on Apapa Oshodi Expressway. And this is what happens in life to many people. It's to say, who's driving your life? And to understand that from the beginning there was a purpose and there was a vision that the creator of that life had.